Good evening, YouTube. It's Hannah from Smaugish here, and today, if you can't already guess by my getup, I'm doing the Harry Potter tag for you. I've actually found two versions of this tag, which has a few questions, but then I found one called the Ultimate tag that has like 30 questions. So I might do them both, and then I don't know, I might split them up into two videos, see how I feel. But I've got my cardigan, I've got my tie, I've got my Hufflepuff necklace, and I've got my wand. I feel like I'm missing something. Aha! Accio robe. There we go. Much better. So now I can begin the tag. So, question 1 is, what is your favourite book? For me that's easy, Prisoner of Azkaban. Question 2 is favourite movie, and that's my favourite book and my favourite movie. It introduces Sirius Black and Remus Lupin, who are two of my favourite characters. It's the first appearance of Cedric Diggory, who is my favourite characters, and I just like, it's like a change in tone, and it feels a bit different from all the other books and movies, so that's why Prisoner of Azkaban is my favourite book and movie. So that's question 1 and 2. Question 3 is least favourite book. Controversially, because I know this is often one of people's like favourites, my least favourite book is Goblet of Fire, because I feel like, you know, the Triwizard Tournament obviously is a massive part of that book, but I feel like so much time is spent on the Triwizard Tournament and like on the little roundabout stuff and all the drama, and Harry is going through his big emo rage, so he shouts a lot, and it's just overlong really. I think it's just overlong. So yeah, that's my least favourite book. Parts of the books and movies that made you cry is question 4. So many. I think I cry with happiness sometimes just as well as, you know, crying with sadness, but basically all the way through Deathly Hallows Parts 1 and 2 movies and Deathly Hallows book, I was in fits of absolute, just floods of tears the whole way through, just because of everything that happens and all the people that pass on, and, you know, I didn't cry at the end of Half-Blood Prince with old Dumbledore. I know, but I don't actually like Dumbledore. I think he's a really nasty man. But I did cry at the end of Order of the Phoenix and Sirius's death, and kind of what that meant for Harry. You know, like all of that family and everything, the parental figure that he had been missing, and suddenly it was gone. That was a cruel blow. Question 5, if you could hook up with any Harry Potter character, who would it be? I don't actually know. I like Severus Snape. I'm a Snape fangirl, so maybe him, but he has kind of issues. I don't know I want to hook up with him. Cedric Diggory, Nymphadora Tonks, Remus Lupin, Sirius Black. There's loads. I haven't ever really thought of it in that way. The next question is favourite character. I've mentioned my top 3. I have their wands here. So we have Cedric Diggory, he is my number 1 favourite character. Then we have Professor Snape and Nymphadora Tonks. I also like Ron Weasley, and that's, you know, there's a lot of history to Ron Weasley and that character and me. I like Luna and everything she stands for. I like Sirius, I like Lupin. I'm looking at my Funkos, I've got my important ones. I like Molly Weasley, I like Bellatrix, I like Hagrid. I like so many characters. I like McGonagall, I like Sprout. But yeah, my top 3 favourites are Snape, Cedric Diggory and Tonks. So the next character is, what would your Patronus be? I've taken my Pottermore Patronus quiz, obviously, and I got a black swan. And at first I was like, oh, like I'd always thought my Patronus would be like a bear or a bat or something. Yeah, definitely a bear. For a while I really claimed bear as my Patronus. And then when I took the actual quiz and I got black swan, at first I was like, a black swan? Really? And then I looked into it a bit and I read more of the lore about the black swan and more about what the black swan Patronus means. And actually I'm kind of cool with it now. So my Patronus would be a black swan. I also have a running joke with my family that if I actually could cast a Patronus, my Patronus would be Uncle Bryn from Gavin and Stacey. So that's the other option. The next question is an interesting one. If you could have one of the Deathly Hallows. So if you could have the Resurrection Stone, the Invisibility Cloak, or the Elder Wand, what would you have and why? I don't think I'd have the Elder Wand because, you know, ultimate power and everything has never been something that I've been interested in. The Resurrection Stone would be good, but it has so many, like, issues pertaining to it. So definitely the Invisibility Cloak, I think. It would be useful. As we've seen in the books, Harry has shown how it could be useful, and I don't actually think he utilises it always in the way that it should or could be utilised. So I'd have the Invisibility Cloak and I would show Harry how to use it. Next question is, what house would you be in? I don't actually know. Can anyone guess what house I might be in? I've never really given it much thought. I'm a Hufflepuff. Bam! I am a Hufflepuff through and proud Hufflepuff. Apart from when I was like 11 and 12, I was like, oh, I'm Gryffindor. But when I actually started thinking about it, I have always been, yes, Hufflepuff. I am a Hufflepuff. I love Hufflepuff. Booyah, Hufflepuff, Hufflepuff. Every day I'm huffling. Next question is, if you could meet any member of the cast, who would it be? Maggie Smith. I always used to say Alan Rickman, but obviously he's not with us anymore. So many members of the cast aren't with us anymore, so because I can't meet Alan Rickman, Dame Maggie Smith. The next question is, have you played any of the video games? Yep, I like the Harry Potter Lego games, are great. I played 1 and 2, I think, on my PlayStation back in the day. That's about it, actually. I was never a massive film video game fan. I just found them really disappointing. So yeah, but the Harry Potter Lego games, all of the Lego games in fact, are absolutely brilliant and so much fun. So I've played those. Next question, if you were on a Quidditch team, which position would you play? My own little headcanon of my Hogwarts career, I was captain of the Hufflepuff Quidditch team, and it varies, I was either a beater or a chaser. Next question, were you happy with the ending? I'm not an epilogue fan. So I don't like the epilogue. I think it was a waste of time, it was unnecessary, it was just a bit too schmaltzy. But the ending itself, like if we ignore the epilogue, yeah, I think the ending is great. It was always a bit... saying that, it felt a little bit anticlimactic. Like the whole of the last book felt a bit rushed. Like she was like, oh, I've got to finish this, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So the actual ending, it was a bit anticlimactic for me, and even more so in the movies. I don't think they did Voldemort's ending in the movies very well, but yeah, overall I think it's okay. Yeah, I wish he'd had the balls to actually either completely kill Harry and make him stay dead, but then also Voldemort die, or do something where, you know, talk about some kind of consequences, because lots of the fan theories about how now actually Harry can't die because Voldemort's dead, or, you know, whatever, he's now immortal, you know, all those kind of things, I kind of like those. So I wish there'd been a bit more to it, but in general, yeah, perfectly happy with it. And the last question on this particular quiz is, how much does Harry Potter mean to you? I don't think I could put it in words. Like, I know I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I own 4 wands. This is my real wand, by the way. This is my wand that I bought from Ollivander's at the Wizarding World, and I can perform magic with it. So yeah, this is my wand. This is the Hannah from Smaugish wand. That's whose character it is. And I've got my full Hogwarts uniform. I'm obviously not wearing it all. I'm just wearing my tie, my cardigan, and my robe here. But I don't think I can put it in words. I actually cried when I was 11 and I realised I wasn't going to Hogwarts. But it's always been there for me. Always. It's always been there for me. Hogwarts has always been there for me in all of the... I'm going to start crying. I'm going to get emotional. That's ridiculous. It's just always been there. I've grown up with it, really. I was 7 when the first book came out. And... yeah, I couldn't put it into words. Harry Potter is so important to me. And it makes up such a big part of who I am and who I've become. And I think a lot of the messages that she writes and a lot of the things she puts across to children, like, it's okay to be yourself and to stand up for what you think is right. It's so important. So yeah, Harry Potter means a lot. And that is it for the Harry Potter tag. I will do the separate 30 questions ultimate tag as well, so feel free, that will go up at a similar time to this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.